Welcome in cephalopods to a special highlight presentation. In this video I want to talk about my impressions and opinions on one of the first DLC weapons in Splatoon 3, the Snipewriter 5H. I happen to pick up and play this weapon for well over 1 million points already, so I feel somewhat qualified to give you a decent opinion of how I feel about it. Though, before we get into any kind of gameplay related stuff, I first want to explain what even made me pick up this thing to begin with, other than it just being a new weapon at the time. So the Snipewriter 5H is yet another one of those countless examples of Splatoon's absolutely unprecedented genius in terms of art and design. Just have a look at this gorgeous name. It's a combination of the word sniper, as in sniper rifle, which is basically the class that this weapon belongs to in the game, and the second part is a pun on typewriter, the mechanical machine that can write letters quicker than handwriting with a pencil could. But careful, this is where most people get tricked. There's a double layer to this reference, and it's already here where the real brilliancy starts to kick in. I honestly think it's not even meant to refer to this clunky thing. I'm fairly certain they are talking about the Chicago typewriter here, which looks more like this. Don't worry, this will make sense in a second, let me explain. The original Chicago typewriter firearm is famous for being the world's first SMG, standing for submachine gun, which basically describes a machine gun that shoots regular pistol rounds instead of the more powerful machine gun bullets that it's usually loaded with. So a submachine gun has good utility, but in return packs less of a punch than an actual grown-up machine gun with its dedicated ammunition. And by knowing that the Chicago typewriter was the first subclass of the machine gun, if we now translate this meaning back to our topic at hand, we get to understand that the Snipewriter in Splatoon is basically meant to be the first subclass of the sniper, if you will. It belongs to the sniper class of weapons as we figured, but only shoots less powerful bullets than the other sniper models in the game. However, in return it gains more utility and can shoot more times than the rest of its class. This quantity and ammunition is also referenced in the last part of the name, as the 5H probably hints at 5 hits, but more obviously describes the hardness of the graphite or lead in a pencil, which resembles the ammunition that this weapon uses to shoot. And while we're talking about pencils and being first of its kind, as a little bonus fact, it appears that the first real-world sniper rifle had a hexagonal shaped barrel instead of a regular borehole like other rifles had. And to close the circle in our investigation, I also read up that only pistols and very high precision sniper rifles make use of hexagonal shapes inside their barrels. And if we add that to the mix and look at the Snipewriter 5H again, we got a high precision first of its kind sub-sniper that shoots multiple pistol damage bullets and has a hexagonal shaped pencil for a barrel. Literal perfection. This realization alone was more than enough for me to pick up this absolute metaphorical beauty of a weapon. So let's go on and see what stories it can write for the gameplay. Well, I gotta say that I never played any sniper/charger weapons in Splatoon before, so my idea about how to behave with such a weapon class was maybe a bit lacking. However, I believe this actually helped me to think of the Snipewriter in a more open and creative way, instead of expecting something that might not even be present on this new twist to the charger class. I went ahead and played a ton of matches to get a feeling for the handling and to figure out what the weapon and kit is capable of. And to my surprise, even after a long time I couldn't figure out anything that this weapon is particularly good at, aside for the obvious range and therefore resulting paint output. But it's kinda slow, it's clunky, the ink efficiency isn't too great, it cannot get splats reliably, at least not in my hands. So I struggled to find anything that the mechanical stacking point rocket pencil could do that other weapons couldn't do better already. What is the deal with this thing? Were all the naysayers right in the end and the lack of demand would spell doom to this rather unimpressive writing utensil? Was the weapon dead on arrival? A short story of a tragedy? Did the ink run out before the tale could be written to deliver any impact? Or did the author orchestrate all this to filter out those with an insufficient intellect and deceive them with a premature conclusion, distracting from the true purpose hidden between the lines? Just like you, it took me a good while to get on the same page with the writer and see through to the actual value. The real plot twist kicked in when I asked myself the reverse question. What's the drawback? What is this weapon bad at? Upon further investigations, I came to realize that the Snipewriter appears to have no terrible weaknesses either. It can pretty much handle any situation somewhat decently. And then it finally struck me that the poetry even expands into the gameplay itself. It's like a pencil and a blank sheet of paper. They're both not special at all, and yet the creative possibilities are endless. The freedom and personality with this device are nearly without limit. No other weapon in the game can be used in such a wide spectrum of versatility. It blew my little squid mind how ingeniously this weapon carries over its meaning. Really just like a poem that has the reader wander their mind to explore a topic, except with the Snipewriter the imagination unfolds even before your physical eyes. This creation is a masterpiece way beyond most people's comprehension. But if you happen to be one of the lucky few who are privileged enough to grasp an understanding of the intellectual depth it provides, then you can draw fulfillment from layers of satisfaction that no other weapon can dream to reach. An undescribable feeling of transcendent pleasure only for the chosen. I am very glad that the Snipewriter 5H came to existence in Splatoon 3 and allowed me to experience its unique view on the game and life alike. And I'm honored to celebrate the writing of a new chapter with it, since this video marks the milestone of my first 500 subs on this channel. Now obviously the achievement technically belongs to all of you squids and octos who made this possible, so the real love letter goes out to you. Thank you everyone for watching, sharing, liking and subscribing to get this channel more recognition and to help me helping you. If you enjoyed this video, consider checking out my other videos as well, and I look forward to see you there. Keep up the support everyone, and until then, booyah!